What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather here. Wanted to make a quick little video talking about the Madden Championship that is starting this weekend. We have the first four groups taking place on April 29th and April 30th. Now, I'm sure a lot of the people that watch my channel are familiar with the EA Major Series, but for those of you that aren't, there's been a few major tournaments this year, and everybody, they racked up points, and this is the final 32. These are the 32 best Madden 17 players from tournament placing. So this is the final major tournament of the year from EA Sports. The grand total prize is $500,000. It's going to be split between all of the competitors. I'm not exactly sure what first place gets, but it's a very nice sum of money. Now, April 29th and April 30th, that is this weekend, we're going to get the Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D games played. The following weekend, we will have the other four groups. And basically what's going to happen is we're going to have two players advance from each group, and then once we get it down to a final 16, it's going to be single elimination to crown the winner. Now, just wanted to give my predictions for the first weekend, groups A, B, C, and D, who I expect to come out of these groups, and next weekend I'll be doing my prediction for the other four groups. So, and I definitely, for those of you, if you haven't been watching the tournament series this year, I definitely suggest tuning in. You can watch it at twitch.com/EA Sports. You're going to see a lot of high competitive Madden, and kind of, if you want to improve your game, these are the best players to watch. I mean, I play against a lot of these players. I'm cool with a lot of these players, so these are guys you want to watch if you want to help improve your game. Just, taking note of the little things they do that makes all the difference. So if you haven't been keeping up, I would suggest tuning in this weekend if you have some free time. Now, who I expect to make it out of Group A, I would say Group A, just by looking at all of these groups right now, Group A stands out to me as maybe the toughest group. It's definitely one of the toughest groups. Now, you have Skimbo, who he's just been on the cusp of the championship so many times. He is the #1 ranked player this year in total tournament points. He finished as the runner-up in the last event and lost to Beastmodemac. Last year, he finished as a runner-up against Serious Mo. He's just been on that cusp, and he's been one of the toughest players these past couple years. I really think that maybe this will be the one that he finally takes down. I definitely expect him to come out of Group A because he has just been one of the most solid, consistent players throughout, and like I said, always been on that cusp, but just can't seem to just get over that hump, and he's going to eventually because he's just that good of a player. So I definitely like him to come out of Group A. Now, the other guy I expect to come out of Group A, it's kind of a toss-up to me between Serious Mo and Killer Mike. Serious Mo, one of the best Madden players of all time. I would definitely put him as a top 5 player all time. I mean, he was running the underground scene for a while, and he won his first major last year, but most of his run they didn't have any big majors. It was kind of when EA was not really doing too much with the tournament scene, but Mo was dominating the underground scene. Mo has been a very good player this year, but I like the sleeper Killer Mike to come out of Group A because he has really come on strong at the end of the year. He won the Seattle Club Series, I believe it was, and he's just been really, really playing some of the best Madden that we've seen this year. So I do like him to come out of Group A along with Skimbo. Now, Group B, we have Djones. A lot of people are probably familiar with him. He's kind of the more arrogant guy, the guy that showboats a lot. A lot of people don't like him, and I guess for good reason, because he does kind of talk a lot of trash and kind of likes to clown his opponent a little bit. But he's not a bad player, though. He's definitely a little bit more of a sim player than a lot of the other tournament guys. A very good player. He was the runner-up in the first event this year, but he hasn't really done anything since then. He hasn't really made much noise since then. I don't like him to come out of this group. Young Kiv, he's been consistently one of the best players these past few years, and he, to me, has been getting better as the year has gone on. I do like Young Kiv to come out of Group B. He's been one of the most consistent guys on both sides of the ball, and he's gotten to final 16s, final 8s. He's another guy that's, you expect him to win it all eventually. He hasn't been as close as Skimbo, but he's kind of just like one step behind. So eventually I do expect him to win the whole thing. I'm not sure if that's going to be this year, but I do expect him to come out of this group because he's he's battle tested. He's proven. You know, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make the final 16 of this tournament. And it's going to come down to the second person to come out of Group B, in my opinion. It's going to come down between Joke and Goes. I'm going to give the nod to Joke here because he's been in this stage before. He hasn't come out of his group stage at all this year. It's time for him to come out of the group stage, and he's been battle tested. He's seen it all. Goes is a very good player this year, but I think Joke just has the experience edge on him, so I'm expecting Joke to come out of Group B. Joke and Young Kiv. Now, moving over to Group C, we have Beastmodemac, we have Strafing, we have Sdello, and we have Litezout. First and foremost, definitely expect Litezout to come out of this. He might be my favorite to win the whole thing. And when I talk about Skimbo, about he's been on the cusp these last 2 years, Litezout has been on the cusp his entire career. The past decade, he's just been one of the best Madden players year in and year out. Always comes up with something new, something unique. He can run anything and make it look good. Very good on both sides of the ball. He can make it work with just about anything. Comes up with the most creative offenses. I would like to see him win the whole event because he's just been a guy that he's just been so close time and time again. He's constantly in Final 8s, constantly in Final 4s. Last year, he finished Final 4 in the Madden Championship, actually lost to Stiff, who is his lab partner, who went on to win the whole thing. I definitely like Litezout to come out of this group. I think he is by far the best player in this group, and I would like to see him take this event down because, like I said, he's been so close for his entire career, and it's about time for him to finally get over that hump. Sdello, kind of a newer name to the community. He had a really good run in the first tournament of the year. Hasn't really done much since. Not a bad player, but I don't see him coming out of this. Beastmodemac and Strafing, they're about what and what to me. They've both been pretty consistent players all year. Beastmodemac just took down the last event. Strafing took down his club series, which was, I believe, was the Vikings club series. I'm going to give the edge to Strafing here. I think he's going to come out of this group. Just watch them both play. They're both really good players. Either guy could come out. I just feel like Strafing's got the edge just a little bit. I just expect him to come out along with Litezout. Now for Group D, another pretty tough group. I would say this is the second toughest group of the first four. You've got Problem. Everybody knows him, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. We've got Schemin, who's really made a lot of noise this year. Drag, another tough veteran, never really won the whole thing, but has been a very tough player. He actually took a lot of time off and was away from the scene for a while, but this year he's kind of back strong and been a very solid player this year. And Little Man, another veteran that's been around for a long time, another solid player. I'm going to go with Problem first and foremost. I would say the Problem isn't as good this year as he has been in the past couple years. I think the field's just I don't think it's necessarily that he's not as good. I just think that the field is a little more even this year than past years. But I do like him to come out of this. You know, he's got all the accolades, all the experience. He's the most comfortable guy in the hot seat at all times. So I do expect him to at least make it out of his group stage. And then, honestly, man, it's a toss-up of who the second person would be. I really like Drag's game. Drag's been really solid this year. Little Man has made a lot of group stages. He's been competitive this year, but once he's gotten to the live events, he hasn't really done too much there. So I think it's going to come down between Drag and Schemin. And, man, I hate to really pick one of these guys because they're both really good. I like both of their games. I'm going to go with Schemin because I feel like he's kind of caught fire at the right time, kind of like Killer Mike. He really has come on strong these last few months of the game. He took down the Vegas tournament. He was very, very dominant in that tournament. Drag started the year really strong. I feel like he's kind of fizzled out a little bit as compared to Schemin. So I think Schemin, just from a momentum standpoint, I'm going to go with him because I feel like he's been playing his best Madden these past few months. So I'm going to go with Problem and Schemin to make it out of Group D. So to recap, Group A, Skimbo and Killer Mike. Group B, Young Kiv and Joke. Group C, Strafing and Litezout. And Group D, Problem and Schemin. Let me know your predictions below, who you think's going to come out of it, and check out the tournament today and tomorrow, and check back next week as I'll be giving my predictions on the second group stage. So I'll see you guys next time.